Okay, Nasai Minasan, today we are gonna talk about Kamen Rider Geats episode 30, and officially right now Neon's Kurama father is the worst Kamen Rider father in Kamen Rider history. He created Neon for his own benefit, for his own future, for his own Kurama Foundation purposes. Like, he doesn't give a shit about Neon at all. He could easily just love Neon just like how he loved Akari, but he chose not to do that, and that is something that is like really sad for us to actually see happening in this episode. That is so devastating. And we also learn the reason why the father of Neon Kurama didn't actually just resurrect Akari, because for him, he has accepted the fact that Akari has already passed away in his mind. So he doesn't like, even seeing an artificial created Akari in front of him, he would not be able to fully love Akari like how he used to love Akari before she actually passed away, because you will always have a mental block that's stopping you from truly giving it all your love and attention to that person, because you know deep down in your heart that this person is not real, it's not like your flesh and blood, something like that. So that is something kind of sad for us to actually see. But I really love one thing that the creator actually do for Akari and Neon, and this has to do with their name. One of you guys actually pointed out this in the previous episode comment section below, so I just want to thank all of you. But I think Yuya Takashi did a really clever thing, because he called Akari the real daughter. Akari means real light, and Neon is an artificial light, because you know we use neon lighting to light up the room when there is no sunlight, something like that. So Neon is called the artificial light and Akari is the real light, and that is so clever. Even in their naming scheme, you could already see like there's so many hints that hey, Neon is not actually a real person, something like that. So that is something really amazing. But one thing that I really did not expect to see is Neon's mom. Like, I think all of us hate her in the beginning of the show, but I felt like this episode show us a glimpse of hope that maybe the real love that Neon is actually looking for actually come from the mother itself. You know, like the mother is just, you know, like sometimes she's being a little bit paranoid. She like, what is happening with my daughter, something like that. Like, I don't want her to get hurt, something like that. But once she actually allows like Neon to go out there to really do what she wants to do, like when she learns the truth about Neon joining the DGP, like she actually kind of like, you know, like kind of like chill down a little bit. Like she kind of like accepted the fact that hey, my daughter has grown up and she can protect herself, something like that. And that is why when you see her talking to Neon in this episode before she got her memory back, she's like very chill, very calm with it. But right after that, she got her memory back, her first instinct is to reject Neon. But after that, we get to see Neon like moving away, like trying to leave the house again, and Neon's mom is like actually trying to stop Neon. It's like, hey, where are you going? Like, where are you going? And she is stunned when she heard Neon say, it's like, I'm not a part of this family, so what is the purpose of me staying here, something like that. Wow, I tell you, the mom is standing there with a shock face. She doesn't know how to react. But I really want to believe that maybe in the next few episodes we are actually gonna see Neon's mom like reaching out to Neon and saying to Neon like, hey, you are my daughter, I'm sorry for reacting that way, but you are still my daughter, something like that. I really want to see that happening right now, because that would actually show us like the mother's love is like unspeakable, you know, like no matter what, like the mother's love is gonna like envelop you, something like that. And I felt like it is definitely gonna happen by the end of the month, which is Mother's Day. I think they are gonna do that. Okay, I really think that they are actually gonna go for that direction, and that is something that I can't wait to see happening. Another thing that I really love in this episode is Kyun. Okay, Kyun is someone that like he really wants to help Neon, but he is afraid that when he meet Neon face to face, he's not able to control how he actually word himself, how he actually portray himself, and that is why like he went to confront Neon's father. And after confronting Neon's father, he went and write a letter to Neon, and because he's afraid that if he meet her face to face, he is gonna lose control or something like that. So that is something really amazing as well. So Kyun and Neon, perfect combo. I really love them, and even their action scene is amazing. When Kyun henshin into his Kamen Rider form, it is a majestic beast for Neon to ride on. And the support item for Neon is actually a gun spear. It is a spear with a gun in it. It looks so amazing. I really want like to see kind of like a closer look to that weapon. Hopefully we are actually gonna see Neon uses that gun spear more and more, or gun's lance, whatever you want to call it. I'm just gonna call it the gun's lance, okay, because it looks like a lance and it is a gun, so it looks amazing. Hopefully Neon is able to use it more in the future, and we are not sure how things are gonna go now, because like now Ace loses his supporter, Jin has go back to the future to look for his life, something like that. But what about now? Like what about Kyun and Neon? Like what is their relationship gonna be like? Because right now we actually see like Neon's father is secretly hoping that Neon would actually find her true love from someone in the future, something like that. So maybe we are actually seeing that happening, but I also kind of like secretly hoping that Kyun would not actually end up becoming the person that Neons find true love in, something like that. Okay, so all of these are all still very confusing, very blur. We are not sure what is the future for Neon's character, and that is part of the beauty in this episode, because like they don't try to solve everything in just like this simple 2 episode. They review it previous episode, and this episode they settle all the emotional thing about the character arc, and they actually let it linger, they let it stay, let it brew a little bit, and that is really nice. Because if by the end of episode 30, when we actually saw Kewa talking to Neon like, hey, let's go home together, and Neon be like, yeah, let's go, something like that, it is definitely gonna defeat the entire purpose of this character arc that Neon is going through. She is going through an arc where the whole world is hating on her. Like she is someone that is like well loved, like she's popular and all those stuff. And right now everyone is rejecting her except for that one person, Kyun, who is by her side, something like that. So that is something really amazing, and I can't wait to see more of that. And let me talk about the next thing right now, and that is Chiram. Apparently Chiram knew that Neon Kurama is not a real human, something like that. So maybe that is also part of the reason why Neon was chosen to become the Deza Star, something like that. To kind of build that. I'm not so sure, okay, but Chiram knew, Sumari doesn't actually knows about this at all. So that is kind of interesting that Sumari, she became a navigator, but there's still a lot of things that she doesn't know about. And when we actually saw this, like I felt like we need to really consider one thing, like how much does Sumari know, and when does Sumari actually joins the DGP itself. Okay, so all of these are very interesting stuff. Maybe like and we also learned that by the end of this episode, like we learned that the goddess of creation turns out it is the mother of Ukyo as Mitsune, and I felt like no one is actually surprised by that. There's quite a lot of theory behind this already, so not a lot of people is gonna be like, what, we did not see this coming, something like that. But most of us actually see this coming, that the goddess of creation is actually Mitsune itself. So my biggest question right now is like, how did that actually happen? How did Mitsune came upon the power of goddess of creation? And what about Sumari? Who is Sumari, and is she a creation just like the goddess, just like Neon as well? Is she also a part of the goddess of creation. So in a sense, if Sumori is actually a creation of goddess of creation, then that would actually means that Sumori is actually the sister of Ukiyo S as well. So you're officially, not this time, it is not artificial, like let's play pretend you to be my sister, something like that, but this time it is official that Sumori is Ukiyo S sister, and that's gonna be really interesting as well. Like for the story to revolve and goes around, it never escaped the family line, the family story of Kamen Rider, and I felt like that is also some of the beauty in the storytelling of Kamen Rider as well, because like every single time when they pull character have some siblings relation into the story, it is gonna be really personal, and I feel like Japanese people really knows how to write story regarding family issues, siblings rivalry, something like that, and that is part of the reason why I love Revice so much, because Revice felt like a drama more than a Kamen Rider show, more than a Tokusatsu show. But right now we are seeing a real good balance between the Tokusatsu show and also the family drama and also some personal drama as well. And Yuya Takahashi managed to do that in Kamen Rider Geats, so that is something really amazing. But with that being said, let me move on to a few things that we need to talk about. So first thing, we actually get to see Ukiyo S finally. I felt like in this episode he finally acts more like a main character to the show itself. He is actively and directly influencing the decision that other character actually makes in the story itself. Like he is no longer that character that just that is just presence is in other people's story, but he is actively influencing people. He talked to Kyun, challenged him that, bro, what are you doing here? Go and talk to Neon, you are her supporter. If you don't want to interfere, then you just go back to the future. What are you even doing here? Something like that. So that is something really amazing that we actually get to see as is finally doing, actively changing the plot of the story. So I like it. Okay, I really want to see more of that happening for Ukiyo S, and especially now we are reaching the end of the story. Definitely the action of S needs to have certain consequences and certain weight to it, because so far throughout the entire series we are only seeing him being a player to the DGP. He doesn't really affect much of what other people actually does as well. So moving forward, we want to see that happening. But speaking of the DGP, we finally learned the true goal of Buffa. He doesn't only want to destroy the riders, but he also wants to destroy the DGP. And I feel like the way he hide his own true goal is very clever, because when he wishes for a power to destroy all riders, means that Miram, someone who also have the power of Kamen Rider, is not gonna be able to stop Buffa if he actually got the power to destroy all riders. So that is something that is like really clever, that he figures that, hey, if I get the power to destroy all riders, then I can just destroy the DGP as well. And that is the secret goal of Buffa, and I really love it, because the way Buffa thinks is very interesting. He thinks it in a perspective that, hey, I all of this happened because of the DGP. So he's not delusional. He knows that his friends die because of the DGP and people suffer because of the DGP. Everything happened. The root cause is the DGP, and all of us, like how a lot of us is actually saying like, oh, he's directing his anger towards the wrong place, blah blah blah, something like that. But secretly he is directing his anger to the right direction, and that is towards the DGP. So that is really amazing to see Buffa go through. Hopefully we get to see him got a new power up or something like that, especially right now he's actually gonna leave. He actually tries to leave Baroba and Sparrow behind, but I am not sure what is gonna happen after Buffa see the truth of the goddess of creation. So that is something really interesting. But that is all from me regarding Kamen Rider Geats episode 30. Okay, so one thing I forgot to mention when I'm recording the video is the scene where we actually get to see the breeder is trying to resurrect the fish Jyamato by pouring water onto the fish Jyamato itself. And after that, he actually got an idea that hey, I can actually, he looked at his arm and he's like, hey, I'm gonna feed you the best, I'm gonna resurrect you. So I'm thinking to myself, like, what is he doing? What is he thinking? Is he trying to feed the breeder? No, is he trying to feed the Jyamato his own hand or his blood? Now, the biggest question right now is, where does this Aki medal actually come from? Is he also from the future? So does he actually have, is his blood designed in a special way or something like that? Like, why when he look at his own hand, he thinks to give it to the fish Jyamato or something like that? So there is a possibility that we are actually gonna see an evolution for the fish Jyamato, okay? Because so far when we look at Jyamato, we don't actually see the Jyamato eating human being. We don't see the Jyamato go around and eat human, but we actually get to see the Jyamato slash and kills human. So that is a really drastic difference. If the breeder actually give an appetite for human flesh and human blood for the fish Jyamato, and that is gonna affect the rest of the Jyamato, we might actually get to see the outbreak of the Jyamato. This could actually be the downfall of the Jyamato Grand Prix, because when the Jyamato actually have a taste of human flesh and human blood, that is gonna be their rebellion against the breeder, rebellion against Baroba, and rebellions against Sparrow. And then this might actually be the downfall for Baroba and also the breeder itself, because they thought they can control the Jyamato, but they did not realize once they actually feed the Jyamato the human flesh and human blood, something like that, that is gonna build out an appetite and causes them to just go crazy and try, they become zombified, okay? They just are always tempted and always hungry for more human flesh and human blood. So that is my speculation on what is to come. But if that actually happens, it's gonna be really interesting, because this would actually mean the final villain of the show is actually gonna be the Jyamato rather than the DGP itself, because we know Buffa is trying to stop the DGP, but no one is trying to stop the Jyamato itself. But what if the Jyamato loses control? What if the Jyamato now has become a huge threat to humanity? Because so far we saw the Jyamato is awfully, like, it's quite tame, you know, like when they are not part of the DGP game, or when they're not part of the Jyamato Grand Prix game, they don't seem to attack human at all. Like when Buffa is like walking around in the Jyamato world, like the Jyamato didn't seems to actually attack the Buffa. Like it is only when the Jyamato is being ordered by the breeder, then the Jyamato is gonna attack. So this is a really interesting turn of event, if that is actually what is actually gonna happen. But with that being said, let me just go back to my old self, and I'll be seeing you guys there. Really amazing episode, and I really love the action scene. Even though, like, you know, like, it's a little bit CG heavy, but it is still really amazing. But that is all from me. Hope you enjoy. If you like what you see here, you know what to do. And if you made it this far into the video, I just want to leave a secret word for you to comment in the comment section below to let me know you actually finished the entire video. And the word today is gonna be lion, 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 because Kyun is a lion and Nago is a tiger. I'm not sure, but you know, that is all from me. Hope you enjoy. If you like what you see, you know what to do. Subscribe, and I'll be seeing you guys in the next one. Goodbye.